Wait, Wayne Rooney's here? This is weird.
This has made a mad situation occur outside of the villa.
Shock horror.
It's the best Brits I've ever been to.
It's not just a bit dusty, it's grimy.
Cats are going in the bin this week. Welcome to ShowbizFix, sponsored by Sun Bingo. This is your destination for the inside scoop on all our celebrity exclusives and the biggest entertainment stories you're loving this week. We've barely recovered from the whirlwind of Brits gossip, and we're already asking ourselves the big question of the week. Is the Duke of Hastings returning to Bridgerton? But first, Love Island All-Stars might be over, but the post-Villa podcast drama is absolutely giving. They have been non-stop. Honestly, they landed in the UK and went straight on the podcast to say all of the things that we wish they'd actually said on the show.
I feel like they could still be in the villa. Like, I'm seeing their every move at the moment.
It's incessant, Howell. I don't know whether your feed's like mine and Kenzie's, but it's like non-stop.
Is it that they just think, I'm not going to get any extra money for saying this on the show, but if I say it when I'm out, then my 5 seconds of fame will continue a bit further? Is it that?
A cynic might say that. But the biggie was Lucinda. She went on Paul C. Brunson's Need to Talk, which is like a big one. Big names go on there usually. So great booking for her. But the thing that she really, really went in on was the fact that she wanted to clear up the situation between her and Samie. So basically, when she arrived as a bombshell, she stole Ciaran off Samie. And this began a mad chapter of all the girls ganging up on her, essentially, because they were so angry that she'd stolen Ciaran. Because at this point, Ciaran and Samie were like this. So Lucinda basically said she'd not watched the episodes and didn't realise that Samie and Ciaran were as close as they were. We know that they're sat in lockdown and very much watching these episodes. But basically, this has made a mad situation occur outside of the villa. I'm obsessed with this because it's just like these islanders just do not leave drama in the villa. So Lucinda's podcast comes out. Yesterday, they were all together filming some content, the finalists were. And then last night, they all went to Sheesh. And I'm about to drop a mad video of what happened at Sheesh.
Oh my God.
What happened at Shish?
So, as we know, the islanders love Sheesh. And some of them were there. So, Yeaman, Whitney, Millie, Zach. And then and Ciaran and Samie were there.
Right.
And then Scott, Leanne, Lucinda and Sean arrive a bit later.
Okay.
And basically, I'm going to play you the video and you're going to see what happens.
Oh gosh.
I'm nervous.
So they arrive. There's Scott and Leanne arriving. And then everyone starts getting up to greet them. As you can see, they're all there sat in Sheesh. Islanders are getting up to greet them. That's Yeaman getting up. Millie gets up. They're all arriving. But then what basically happens is Samie and Ciaran stay sat. They do not greet any of them arriving. Lucinda and Sean basically get completely ignored by Samie and Ciaran. At one point, Ciaran even looks to be saying to Samie, are we not getting up then? And sort of laughs at her reaction. But to me, this is clearly the fallout of Lucinda's podcast. Sammy's just like, I'm absolutely done with you, because Lucinda went on this podcast and spilt the beans and she went in on all of the girls. Isn't that mad?
I mean, I can understand why you wouldn't want to greet them. If that's been going on, it's like, I'm not going to pretend to be your mate now just because everyone else is here, right?
But at the final, it seemed like it was squashed. Like, it seemed like everyone was good friends. But I feel like on Paul's podcast, Lucinda really leaned in on the bullying thing. Like, she was like, I was isolated. So I think Sammy's kind of just done.
Yeah. I mean, when you hear someone talking about you like that on a podcast, I just like, God, this is really still kicking off. We've put the whole video up on the Sun website, so people will be able to see that later and see what they think. That's my reading of the situ, but maybe just Samie had big heels on and didn't want to get up.
What an
Any
awkward-
excuse.
Sammie's been on Olivia Atwood's podcast, though. So Olivia's House, that came out this morning. And Samie actually said something about Lucinda, which was, if everyone's having an issue with the same person, there's a common denominator. Get the sign.
Oh. no.
So this is just going to keep it's carrying on. But the other thing that both of them had things to say on was this rumor that Lucinda has a secret boyfriend on the outside.
Right. Did she have a secret boyfriend when she was on Love Island originally, or am I making that up?
So back in 2019 or 2021, no secret boyfriend.
Okay.
I think this is new. Oh,
There was a secret boyfriend, a footballer.
I think there was.
Yeah. This is a different secret boyfriend.
Yeah, okay, good. She loves them.
Don't have a boyfriend, have a secret one. But basically, there's all these rumors that she's got this CEO of a company called Pepper Mayo. It goes on these brand trips, which are actually secret holidays, etc., etc. We've talked about this a lot on ShowbizFix. Now, Lucinda said to Paul C. Brunson, it's absolutely not true. It's just a rumor. We're friends.
We're friends. They're always just friends, aren't they?
And I've not seen him for a long time. But on Sammy's podcast, Olivia asked her about this because she's doing the Lord's work. And Sammy said that in the villa, Lucinda said that was done now.
my thing with this, if it's done, it has to have started. Like, they're never just friends, because what's done? The friendship? No.
Yeah.
Clearly it was a secret boyfriend, and she's found Sean and thought, I better end this. That's my opinion.
It was a friends with benefits situation. And then when she got offered Love Island All-Stars, she said, yeah, maybe I will stop this friends with benefits situation. And then, you know, they are just friends technically then, aren't they?
I just love this, though. It makes Lucinda even more interesting, I think.
She's a crazy girl.
I know. Right. So moving on, because the podcasts, they keep coming. So Belle is doing, I believe, Sisters in the City, and that's being recorded today, I believe. But the one person that can't get podcast is Harrison.
Why?
Kenzie, educate Howell. Why are people taking sides?
The thing is, Lauren's done this Bag podcast, and I feel like now so Joe Bags, he can't have Harrison on because he's had Lauren on. It's like you're picking a side.
Right.
And if you're going with the ex's side, you can't then kind of switch. So I do understand it. And I feel like Harrison said enough. Like, I don't think we need to be giving him more podcasts.
Harrison's the one that basically was stringing Lauren along on the outside and essentially told her, bye.
Oh, yeah, sorry, that's the background.
I do know that bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, there's plenty of podcasts. Surely there's one, you know. Like, why can't he go on...
Ours!
George Ezra's podcast? No, I don't think
But
he
I
has one,
think
you know.
you have to get a big one as well. Like Lucinda doing Paul C. Brunson, Samie doing Olivia's House. These are big names. The Bags podcast. You don't want to just be going on.
Who's going to go on GK Barry's podcast? She's got one, hasn't she?
That's a very good point.
That's
I would have
true.
seen Belle doing one on that one.
That's the thing. There's a lot of podcasts, isn't there? There's a lot of reality stars. There's a
Yeah.
lot of podcasts.
They tend to go to their friends, like Millie's done Chloe Burrows, etc., etc. But I just wanted to touch on Lauren Wood because when we had her come on ShowbizFix, people were accusing her of doing a press tour and all of these things. She did 2 podcasts. I don't call that a press tour.
No.
We've seen a press tour. And since then, Lauren's kind of maintained a dignified silence to a certain extent because she kind of wants to see what Harrison says, which I get. But I just wanted to say that I've seen Lauren Wood's receipts.
Ooh.
And if she wanted to, Lauren could put all sorts of things on the internet and anything that Harrison says would just be completely refuted.
Wow.
And I kind of love that for her, that she sat on this unexploded bomb and she's just like...
She's holding all the cards.
Yeah. And she's like, your move, let's see what you do. Love that from her. You actually interviewed her though, didn't you?
I did. I spoke to her last week. So she had just got back from Mexico. She literally just got off a flight when I saw her. So I kind of understand that she wasn't in the chattiest mood. She was lovely, but she wasn't super chatty. She was very standoffish when it came to Harrison. She didn't, like you said, I think she is keeping a silence. She wants to see what he says first. He's kind of refusing to address it at the moment. So she really didn't want to talk about it. She said that she was kind of focusing on fitness. She's going on runs for her mental health, things like that. It was very much, I'm trying to make myself better at the moment. So she seemed okay, but I don't know. I think she still got the feelings there, is my vibe from her.
Yeah, I think she would get that with him if it wouldn't be terrible for her public image.
Oh.
That's the vibe I got. But look, we've all been there in our 20s and got back with the boy that we shouldn't, haven't we?
Speak for yourself.
I mean, there's a reason why I didn't meet my husband till I was 34. You also interviewed at that same event, though, Molly May's brother-in-law.
Yes.
When I heard this, I was like, Molly May's brother-in-law is doing press?
Wow. I am such a big fan of him. And I don't know if that's
So
like...
what's his name? It's Danny.
Danny Ray.
Yeah.
I watch his vlogs on YouTube. I'm a big Danny Ray fan, but I don't think he's done much press before. He didn't really know what to do when I was speaking to him. I think he was quite shocked with all the questions. But he was lovely. He didn't want to give me too much Molly May tea, which I kind of get because we know Molly's kind of private when it comes to talking to press. But he did say that he's really close with the family. I kind of asked what they like to do in their spare time. He said that they don't do very much, to be honest.
Shock.
Shock horror. There's not much going on at the Ray, Haig, Fury household. He said they like to chill, get takeaways, go on walks, things like that. But he did say he's been training with Tommy. Obviously, we know, well, Danny, I don't know if we do know, but Danny's very into fitness. He's like a high rocks athlete. And Tommy obviously is a boxer. And he said that they've been training together and that Tommy's actually going to do another triathlon.
But the last time he did a triathlon went badly.
Well, this is the thing. I think he's trying to bring back the triathlon image because do you know what happened with the last triathlon?
There was something that he ran over the finish line and what happened? Something happened at the end, no?
He didn't, well, he did finish it, as in cross the finish line, but when people looked into it, he didn't finish it in terms of doing the whole course.
Oh.
To be fair, it wasn't his fault. The organisers, they reopened the road, so he couldn't cycle. I think it was like he couldn't cycle across the road because there was cars. But
so Tommy's going to clear his name.
He's going to clear his name.
Well, I love that for him. I laughed then about Molly May not doing much at home because I just quite enjoy this, our relatable queen who just likes to be at home and have a takeaway, doesn't she?
She's just a normal girl.
She's never on a wild night out. We've never seen Molly let her hair down.
No, Kenzie's got some Molly May on today, though.
I do. This is
wearing,
Maybe.
She's wearing Maybe.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
so
it looks
thank
lovely.
you, Molly. I'm a big fan of the Molly May, Tommy Fury, Danny Ray. I'm a big fan of the whole family.
I did see a TikTok the other day of old Molly May when she was sort of like in her teens, like pretty chavvy. And I was like, I love that.
The bun.
She seemed fab. I bet she'd been fab on a night out.
I do want to bring that back. I was hoping when she split from Tommy for a bit, we'd see a bit of Wild Molly, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, sadly not. She needs a bit of Maura Higgins to rub off on her, doesn't she? Because they're meant to be best pals.
I think once the kids have grown up, give it 10 years.
Okay, speaking of more Love Island mess, we need to talk about Tony and Cash at the Brits.
I've been living for your TikToks on this. You've been breaking all the news.
Honestly, people are messaging me like, what's the latest? What's the latest? And I'm like, I don't have a hotline to Tony and Cash, unfortunately. Tony and Cash, if you're watching, feel free to set up said hotline because the people want to know what's going on. So very quick recap. I heard from my sources on Sunday, check in on Tony and Cash because they had a massive row. Things were really frosty and Cash then went off to enjoy the night separately from Tony. She was really upset. And it turns out when I did a bit of digging that things have been on the rocks for weeks. They're snapping at each other. Things aren't well. The feeling is, things are maybe starting to run its course. There's still the love there. And then maybe that this row at the Brits could be the final straw. Then it looked like they'd unfollowed each other. So that was when I had to do another update on TikTok. And then it became a bit like, next I'll be updating what they've had for their tea. Bless them. But obviously that's, the sign that things are done, isn't it, these days, the unfollowing.
It's something pretty big has to happen for you to unfollow someone because that feels kind of quite absolute.
Yeah. Then I heard that what had actually happened is Cash had blocked Tony. So it looks like you've unfollowed. Because then the next day, it seemed like they'd re-followed each other. So obviously what had happened is Cash had unblocked Tony. So I've checked in on the current situation and it is still that they're trying to work through things. There is so much love there. They won Love Island together. It was a huge big deal and they've got so many fans. It's that they're still trying to work through this. It feels like maybe there's a bit of a ticking time bomb on this. Once the cracks are there, it's hard to repair them, isn't it? But I know that everyone's hoping that they get back together. We'll see. How though? You were actually there at the Brits, not just getting phone calls about it like I was.
I was, and I feel like, wow, I missed this story. I wasn't doing a very good job.
It's all right because I had it covered.
Yeah, I was very lucky. Sony Music, thank you, invited me along. And it was a great night. I would, honestly, I've been going to the Brits for about 10 years. I would say it was the best Brits I've ever been to.
Ooh.
And everyone there, I think, just had the same feeling. It was exciting. I think it was really like... helped moving it to Manchester really helped. It's way livelier. The crowd was screaming in a way that like the London crowd has never done, honestly. And you know, great night for Olivia Dean. She obviously won 4 awards, but like the performances were so good. Harry Styles opening the show with this huge choreographed number, which we've never seen him do anything like that before. I was like, okay, living for this.
Can I just quickly say, I thought his dance moves were slightly out of sync with the dancers, though.
Well, I think some of the dancers were also out of sync with each other, but it was such a fast routine that I was like, hey, I kind of like it. And, you know, it was influenced by club culture. So I'm like, yeah, you're not all going to be in time. I'm like, I want it to be a little bit messy. I'm like, he's not Blackpink, you know. It's his first time really dancing, I think. So I was like, I was here for it. And then Rosalia's performance. I was so excited to see her anyway because I'm a stan. And the fact that she brought Bjork out as this surprise act, everyone in the room was like screaming and gasping. It was just great. And there was so many moments like that where you're like, this is genius. Even the fact that James Blunt accompanied Alex Warren on the piano, it's like, why? No idea, but like fab, why not, you know? So I think it was just a really great ceremony. Everyone seemed to be on a good vibe. And I think mostly the right people won, you know?
Great. Oh, I wish I was there. Kenzie, you've been to the Brits before, but not this year.
I have, yeah. I'm kind of sad now because you said it's the best one ever. I'm like, God, the one I don't go to. But what made me laugh about this year's Brits was that they put K-pop demon hunters outside. Like, why were they not in the studio?
It's a really interesting one that K-pop Demon Hunters was pre-recorded and was outside. And then there's been a lot of discussion about how the grime and rap and hip-hop category and the R&B category were both handed out during the breaks. And people are saying, well, why was that? These are like black categories and then an Asian act. Why weren't they in the main show? So I think Brits do have some sort of some lessons to learn from this. I think they're quite lucky that there's not been as much of a backlash as there could have been.
Yeah.
But it was a shame because K-pop Demon Hunters, you know, they're so blimmin' big. It's been one of the biggest songs of the last year. I am not sure if they were actually in town by the time the Brits happened. So I think that might be why they pre-recorded. But it's one of the biggest songs of the year. So I think they felt like we have to have it represented in some way.
But it sounds like the biggest thing to happen actually happened the night before.
Yes.
How? We need to talk about Wayne Rooney. So this was our splash for the Sun and basically involves Wayne Rooney back to his party day best. Is that fair to say?
Yes, I think that's fair to say.
Inside the story.
So this was on Friday night. So it was the night before the Brits. There's quite a few events happening across the city. There was all sorts of things going on. I'd been to a Robbie Williams gig for War Child, which was fab. And then I'd gone for a drink afterwards. And then I turned up at this hotel that one of my friends was at, and we were having some drinks in the bar. And it's maybe like 12:30 or something, right? I just happened to pop into the toilet. As I was washing my hands, I thought, oh, that's random. Callum Scott's there, you know, the singer dancing on his own. And anyway, he came back out and I was like, who's he with? And then I saw him walk over to Wayne Rooney and I was like, wait, Wayne Rooney's here? This is weird. Also, why is he friends with Callum Scott? What a weird pairing. So me and Kelly Allen, who works on Fabulous magazine, we were like, well, we need to see what Wayne Rooney does now. And he was out with a group of friends, but there were these 2 women there who he was chatting to for a very long time. And then it was a very late night. I think we all got kicked out when it closed at like 3:30.
Ooh.
And he stood outside with the girl for a little bit and then eventually gave her a hug and got in a taxi and went home alone. And then she left about 10 minutes later in a cab of her own. I don't know what happened, but it was just one of those things where you think, God, Wayne Rooney out with girls was a thing 15 years ago. You're a 40-year-old man now. You've got a son who's 16. You've got kids at home. You've got a wife at home. It's like, don't embarrass yourself on a night where you know that there's loads of journalists in town because it's the blimmin' Brit Awards the next day. And he'd been at a Brit Awards like evening party earlier on in the evening, it turned out. And so he was just out drinking. And you just think he would be a bit cleverer than that, be a bit savvier. Like, I don't know. I just thought it was a bit of a shame, you know.
Yeah, I hear that. We do hear though from that side that, you know, people are quite concerned about him at the moment, and you know, obviously it's a biggie, isn't it? Especially because tonight Colleen launches her Primark range, so the timing is not ideal.
And it is just, although, you know, he didn't actually do anything wrong, you know, there's no suggestion that he did anything wrong. It's still like, it does feel a bit embarrassing for Colleen, because she's probably like, for God's sakes, like, I'm actually now carving out this career on my own, and people are still talking about how you're out with other girls. And it's like, oh, I feel sorry for her.
Yeah. I would like to take you back in time, because I'd now like to talk about not Wayne Rooney 15 years ago, but Bridgerton.
Oh, yes. So very far back in time.
Very far back in time. Yet they do this brilliant thing, don't they, when they make it modern day, particularly in the orchestral arrangements, I believe you call them,
Yes.
you music people, of how they redo modern songs, but and I am obsessed with the Charlie XCX cover.
Wait, so what song did they choose? Because there's all sorts of manner of inappropriate songs they could choose.
So it's 360.
Amazing. Love.
And it's Hyacinth, who's the youngest daughter's recital, so her first big dance ball thing. And they do the funniest dance I've ever seen on Bridgerton, which is essentially like these funny little ponies. And this has now gone viral with people doing their version of it. And I don't know whether you've seen me doing this around the office, but even I am now doing this all around the office. So it's amazing. And it just goes to show that like Bridgerton is still this massively talked about show.
Are you going to do a demonstration or?
Yeah, I will if you want me to.
Okay, please do.
I do. I don't know this dance. I don't know what we're talking about here, so I need a visual.
Okay, well, I think I have to do it after. Okay, I'll do it now. Don't make me dance.
Don't make me
Okay,
dance.
right, guys. So basically, imagine that this is like violins, but 360.
Right.
It goes,
Okay.
and then this is the dance. You bow. And then you go basically
Fab.
like this. And then you hold hands with someone and go. But anyway, on TikTok now.
Whack it on TikTok. She's going to go viral.
On TikTok now, people have even got videos of their dogs doing the dance. And I'm going to send you links, because if you need cheering up, this is what you need to be looking at. But what I'm thrilled about for this is Bridgerton Series 2, Series 3,
Right.
Series 4, Part 1. And I thought, I'm done with this. Part 2 landed on last Thursday, and it's a banger. In that first episode alone, there is conflict, scandal, sex, all of the things that people loved about Bridgerton the first time round. So I'm thrilled about this. But what I want to talk to you about especially is the 3 reasons I think Regé-Jean Page is returning to the series for 5 and 6. So he played the Duke of Hastings, the first sexy leading man. So that was him and Phoebe Dynevor. She was Daphne. And he's not been in it since then.
And it was a shock when he quit after the first series, wasn't it? Because it was like the biggest show at the time. It was like huge. It was like early 2021, right? It was so massive. And then he announced he'd quit. And I guess everyone was like, oh, well, he thinks he's going to become this huge star. And actually, like, he's kind of not.
No.
Like, I really thought at the time, like, everyone was like, he's going to be Bond. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. And like, he's been in a few things, but like, you don't see him out and about. You don't see, he's not. Phoebe Dynevor, on the other hand, has like actually done some really credible things. But I am a bit like, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back, because I think he thought that his career was going to take off in a way that it really hasn't.
Yeah. So here's the 3 reasons why I think he's coming back. The next series, 5 and 6, we believe is going to focus on both Eloise and Francesca. So usually it's 1 child per series. But both their storylines at the end of series 4 seem to be coming to a head. So we believe it's going to focus on both of them. And I have looked in the books I've done my job, guys.
Investigative journalism here.
I've done investigative journalism, and Simon Bassett, aka the Duke of Hastings, does feature in Eloise's story. And there's one scene in particular where he and the brothers are all up in arms about the fact that she had been seeing this man, because obviously they're not meant to be seeing men. So I believe that could be how he's back in the storyline. Daphne and Eloise are particularly close in terms of the family, so that's why that would make sense. But my biggest clue is that Reggae has followed Masali and Hannah, who play two key characters, on Instagram. So everyone's spotted this, as they are. The Bridgerton sleuths have been out in force. And that's Michaela, Francesca's love interest, and obviously Hannah, who plays Francesca. So these are the reasons why I think he's coming back, as well as needs some money.
I think it seems convincing. And like, you know, there's an appetite for that now, and there will be a lot of publicity. You could see why like Netflix would want him back, because it's like, yeah, he's a good pull. And I watched Bridgerton series 1. I think I watched series 2, and then I kind of gave up.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, I don't know who these people are anymore, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas I think when you get those original characters back, it'll bring loads of people back in. I think it'll hook me back in.
Yeah.
I think the Instagram following is a good one as well, because why have you met on set and that's why you're following each other? Have you been reading scripts?
Filming does begin in March.
Okay, so really soon as well.
Yeah.
And so do we think that there's only 6 series that there's going to be? Has that been said?
Oh, no, because then there's also Hyacinth and Gregory. So we're going to be talking about Bridgerton. I'm going to be talking about Bridgerton when I'm like 50.
It's going to run and run.
I am so out the loop with Bridgerton. I started season 1 this month.
Oh,
so
okay.
I mean, he's not even gone yet. He's still on my screen.
Well,
I've still got him.
I love that for you.
And I love that they're having a brat Bridgerton as well. Like, I need to get to Charlie XCX. So
Yeah, well, we'll do the dance. Okay, now I need to know what you are binning and binging this week. Hal's going to go first so he can show you how it's done.
okay.
Okay, so I am binging Mark Ronson because he had his amazing, outstanding contribution to music moment at the Brit Awards. And he is the nicest man in music. And I will say that because I was at the Sony after party in Manchester on Saturday night. And I saw him there and he was chatting to loads of people. And I walked past and I feel a tap on my shoulder. I turn around and it's Mark. And he goes, "Hey, how are you doing? I haven't seen you in ages." And I thought, oh my God, you have made me feel so special. And I've interviewed him a few times over the years and he's just like a lovely guy. But I was like, you don't have to do that. You are like the most in-demand man in the room. Like, you don't have to do that. So I'm binging everything to do with Mark Ronson, including his book. If you haven't read Night People, his book, it's the best book I've read in the last few years. It's so, so good. But I am binning Miss Me, the podcast. So this is the podcast that started a couple of years ago with Makita Oliver and Lily Allen. And I binged it then. I absolutely loved it. It was twice a week. So, so good. Anyway, Lily Allen left it last year and it has now become a hate listen for me, actually. I hadn't listened to it for a while, but I listened to it this morning. And I'm sorry, but Makita Oliver likes to slag off everything under the sun on that podcast. But if anyone dares criticize her, she is absolutely outraged by it. And I'm like, okay, the double standards here are crazy. And also every take that she has is just awful. Like, all of her takes are the worst. She said that Harry Styles shouldn't be dancing like that at the Brits because he's never been to clubs. I'm like, what are you talking about? You're just talking nonsense. So I'm firmly putting that in the bin. That podcast should be discontinued. I don't want my BBC license fee going to someone who talks complete rubbish.
That was so strong.
I am...
Sorry, Makita, but no, like, you should not be getting that paycheck.
Kenzie, I don't know how you follow this.
I mean, you're actually red.
It's something I'm so passionate about. I was listening this morning and I was like, this is infuriating me. It's so annoying. And actually, to be fair, Jordan Stevens, who replaced Lily on it, was saying to Makita, like, no, you're wrong. Your opinions are wrong. And I was like, correct, actually.
Okay, wait, okay, stop now.
You're about to pop a vein.
Breathe. Kenzie, what are you binging?
I'm not as passionate. I'm sorry. But no one is. I don't think it's possible. I am binging clone conspiracy theories. That's a tangled web, I know. But specifically Jim Carrey.
Oh, that was mad.
Yeah. So I don't know if we've all seen, everyone thinks he's a clone. There's a lot of different reasons. I mean, one of which he he did some press last week, and he wasn't making any of the reporters laugh, which I know is a bit strange, but apparently he's usually really funny.
Well, it's his job.
Yeah, and he just wasn't fun. Like, he just wasn't giving any humor, and they just thought that's not Jim. And there's other reasons. Like, it's not solely based on that. He also
the way that he looks.
Yeah. No, I'm leading on the funny thing, but the face too.
Yeah.
And there's loads of these conspiracy theories. I used to get into quite a deep dark hole with this, like Selena Gomez. So many people we think are lizards.
Yeah, Paul McCartney's.
Yeah.
There's a big conspiracy theory that he was replaced by lizard. Oh, and Avril Lavigne.
I was going to say,
replaced. Yeah.
Avril Lavigne's my favourite one, that someone called Melissa, is it? Has actually been Avril Lavigne's for like 15 years.
That's the iconic one, I think. That's the one that started it all off. And now everyone's a clone. Everyone's a lizard. And that kind of relates to my bin.
Go.
Selena Gomez, who could be a lizard, her husband. I don't know if anyone's seen Benny Blanco's Dirty Feet.
Horrendous.
Oh my God.
Jail.
We need to bin them for life. So he's got it's kind of a podcast, it's kind of a TV show. No one really knows what it is. And he did it barefoot, which already is a bit of a strange thing to do. And he put his foot up on the couch, and it's the dirtiest feet ever. It's not just a bit dusty, it's grimy.
It's like
it's horrible.
You haven't cleaned your floors in years, and also you've not showered, because even if you step in the shower, that would get rid of some of that. Why are they that colour?
And people are saying, like, why is Selena dealing with this? You know, how is she coping? I've seen things about her kissing his feet. It's really bad.
Has anyone checked his Wiki Feet page? Has this had an impact?
0 out of 5.
It has gone down. It has. I can confirm that.
This is the kind of investigative journalism we want. Okay, so me this week, I am binging, finally, the Celebrity X on the Beach lineup being confirmed.
I'm obsessed with this.
It's chaotic.
Yeah, so we've got everyone from Helen Flanagan through to Freddie off of Love is Blind, John off of Jedward was the big name. Isn't he always on dating apps?
Yeah, I've actually had some friends that he's hit on before. So I'm like, look, I think he might have a fair few exes. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I am sort of obsessed with the idea. Imagine if Helen Flanagan and John from Jedward got together. It would be absolutely incredible. Like, we thought that reality TV couples peaked at Jojo Siwa and Chris Hughes, but like Helen Flanagan and Jedward, come on.
And you know that Edward would be the third man in that marriage, don't you? If you have one, you're having the other. So anyway, I'm binging that. But I'm binning Katie Price's Creepy Cats. I can't say that after too many Wickeds, but have you seen the video of Clemmy fighting with Katie Price's cats while trying to interview her? Like, Clem's our boss. She's a wonderful woman and very good at her job, and she's just there with her cue cards desperately trying to interview Katie Price about her new husband. Quite serious topic, and these cats are just all over her. But it's the cats specifically I'm binning because they are just terrifying.
They're like these bold sphinxes, aren't they? They're just furless, grey. They look like something out of Stranger Things.
And it's like they are oozing over Clemmy. She just can't get rid of them. So specifically, the cats are going in the bin this week.
God, you're like that woman from years ago who put that cat in a wheelie bin. That's
Cat bin lady. Where is she? We need to look at that.
That's an update on her.
That's your ShowbizFix for this week, brought to you by Sun Bingo. Remember to subscribe to us here on the Sun Showbiz YouTube channel for all the inside TV and celebrity gossip. See you next week.